Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? It's been a long time. It feels like it's been a long time. We do this every week, so it's only been 7 days, but man, it feels like it's been a while. I missed you guys. Glad to be here. Hopefully, just glad to be back. Hopefully, you are glad to have me back. So, big ups to everybody that's on or will be on at some point tonight. Um, Glad to be here after the celebrating a win. So we'll talk about it. Um, I, I started out to say, I'm back from what I was going to say. I'm back from the dead. Of course, the dead is a bit of a stretch, but we streamed last week this same time, and pretty much when I got off, I was down for the count. Pretty much from that point on. Um, and so basically I haven't streamed anywhere until maybe 20 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago when I jumped on with LB for a minute. So yeah, I was thinking about this like a comedian. I was so sick. Well, how sick were you? That's your spot. You go supposed to say, how sick were you? So I was so sick. How sick were you? Yeah, I was so sick that on Thursday night, I told you my team was going to be playing in the national championship. The Miami Hurricanes were going to be playing. Well, sorry, they were going to play in the semifinal match. They were going to be playing the semifinal game against um, Ohio State. It was a opportunity for revenge. Ohio State had stolen a national championship from us back in the 2002-2003 season. So this was a perfect opportunity for us to get revenge. I was excited for it, but when Thursday came, I was so sick. I was laying on the couch. The game was playing, but I was pretty much away from the family down here watching the match, and I was not healthy enough to even yell and scream at the TV like I normally would. You know me, I get emotional, up, down, win, lose or draw. I'm gonna be excited about it, and I wasn't able to do it. And big ups to my wife. She did all the yelling and screaming for me. She's not necessarily a Canes fan, but she yelled and screamed to make sure that the boys could hear and know that they were being supported from the house. So big ups to her. Um, Thankfully, my Canes pulled it out, and big ups to Snoopy. Yeah, our Canes pulled it out, and so they will be playing in the national championship match on Monday the 19th. So they will play the home state team, the IU Hoosiers. So yeah, that's a little bit of a conflict for me, but at the end of the day, I'm always going to root for my Canes. So big ups to them. So big ups to you. Like I said, glad to be back. Still not, I don't think 100%. I can still feel a little something in my chest, but man, I'm just glad to be back here. So we got a lot to talk about, of course, tonight. City went and played Newcastle. When I was putting the title together earlier today, of course, you don't know if there's going to be joy or pain. Big ups to DJ Easy Rock, Rob Bass, and DJ Easy Rock, joy or pain. I didn't know if it was going to be joy or pain, but we're glad that we hear on the back of a win. Big ups to the boys. So we'll talk about that later tonight as we get into it. But before we jump into talking city, talking footy, if you haven't already, if you're new here, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Um, as you can see down below on the little ticker, we are trying to race to get to 300. I want to say it's like 240 something. I don't know. It's somewhere around 250, maybe not quite 250 yet. So every little bit helps. Big appreciation to everybody. So let's jump into it. If you, as always, on these Tuesday nights, if you are someone that wants to jump on camera and jump on your mic and have a conversation with us about footy and about the topic of the day or any other topic that we delve into, the opportunity is there. All you have to do is look in the chat. There is a pinned message at the top of the chat. At the top of the chat, you'll find a pinned message with the link. You click that link. it will bring you into StreamYard where I can then put you on the stream. I can put you on the screen for folks to be able to see you. So if you have your camera on, great. If you just have your audio only, that's cool too. But appreciate it. Big ups to everybody that's in the chat. I know a lot of you may have been over on LB stream. It's probably still going. So big ups for jumping over. As always, appreciate the support. Appreciate you all being with us. As always, Keely, Adam, Steve. Oh man, so many of you guys. Kathy, of course, is here. Magnus, big up, big up, big up. So many of you guys appreciate it. As always, appreciate the support. Let's get into it. Tonight was Newcastle versus Man City, or Man City went to Newcastle in the EFL Cup. It is a two-legged affair, meaning that we couldn't win the whole thing today, right? Regardless of what happens today, it was going to be a second leg in, I don't know, sometime in February, I believe. So we want to see what's going to happen, see how they're going to do. Let me get this ticker off the bottom of the screen. It's kind of distracting. But yeah, so we go in as you know, we're playing Newcastle, like I said, two-legged affair. I got to be honest, when the lineup, because the lineup drops, I think about an hour before the game, or before the match actually kicks off. And when I saw the lineup, I had quite a few thoughts. Some of them that were, I don't want to say strong opinions or whatever, but I did have some feelings, right? And I'll be interested to know what your thoughts were when you saw the lineup. But when I saw it, you know, of course, my initial thought was, boom, one, Semenyo, the new signing, the new boy, had done well against Exeter, and so he got the start on the right. I don't know if I should have been surprised or not, but he got the start over Cherky on the right. So it was a front line of, well, a front four, let's say, of Holland up top, and then that midfield three of Doku on the left, Phil in the middle, and then Semenyo on the right. So that was a little bit of a surprise. I don't know if it was a surprise. Again, you go spend the money on the guy. You want to get him playing. He did well in his first matches of his first appearance. Got a goal, I think a goal and an assist against Exeter. I was still kind of sick, so forgive me. But yeah, we were excited to see him in there. Of course, the Max Elaine Kuzanov center back partnership got another run out. So again, we're starting to see when Diaz is out, when Cavardiol is out, Stones is out, Ake is not really able to play. So we're like, okay, what is that consistent back line going to look like? And so the two of them have started to develop a partnership. And so fully expected them to get that start together, but definitely glad to see the two of them going together. Big up, Louis. Appreciate you, bro, jumping on.
Yes. Yeah, thanks, man.
We're just getting into the match today. So I was talking about just my initial thoughts. As soon as the lineup comes out, and you can see the lineup, and you're looking through, and you see the names, I had relatively strong opinions. I'll be interested to know yours, but I talked about Semenyo being on the right over Turkey, which, you know, turned out really well. But I was somewhat slightly surprised by that decision. Of course, we talked about the Kuzanov and the Max Lane partnership, which we knew we were going to see. I think that's the second or third game that they played together now. So just wanting to continue to develop that partnership. But the thing that stood out to me, though, really was no DM. No DM. We know we get into trouble when we don't have a DM. And so when I look through the lineup and I see Nico O'Reilly playing alongside Bernardo Silva, yeah, we have people that are in those positions on the field, but they're not full. They're not really defensive midfielders.
Villa Way Long Bells in it.
What's that?
Villa away.
Yeah. Yeah. Who played in Villa away? Was that
Tajani,
yeah,
Bernardo, and I think Phil.
Phil, yeah. So again,
Tajani was the DM, which never was going to be possible.
yeah. So that was something that again, when I'm looking at the lineup, that was the thing that I think really probably set some alarm bells going off in my head, if I'm going to be honest. And I was a little concerned, to be fair, because I didn't think we had enough. I think that midfield would be light for a lot of teams, especially going against a bunch of physical, you know, pit bulls, if you will, like we face when you go up against Newcastle, the Joel Lintons of the world. So Tonali came off the bench, so that helped. But that's not a midfield built to face those big teams like that. And so I was a little bit concerned. I got to be honest. When you saw that lineup, did you have any concerns at all?
I wasn't concerned about the midfield because I thought it was able to be cohesive enough to work. I was more concerned, and I really thought the moment the lineups got announced when Ake was at left back, I thought Harvey Barnes would be on that right hand side and Ake's hamstring would be out within half an hour. That was my immediate oh god,
he was going to get run into the ground.
But then I was literally like, hang on a second, I want to check Newcastle's lineup, and it was Jacob Murphy at right wing, and I said I was watching it with my brother, and I was like, I swear the footballing later on in the game, but I'll chat about that in a bit. But yeah, I was glad it was Jacob Murphy rather than Harvey Barnes at right wing, and then Eddie Howe said why he didn't play Baltimore, Harvey Barnes, and Tonali, which was kind of like a blessing in a way. So thank you, Bournemouth.
Big up Spartacus. Glad to have you, brother, as always. We're talking lineups and just what our initial thoughts were once you saw the lineup. Again, I'm being honest and telling people that when I saw the lineup, I was a bit concerned because I felt that the midfield was going to be way too light to be able to go up against Newcastle's midfield. And so I was quite a bit concerned. Now, again, as I stated earlier, this is a two-legged affair, right? So again, we just had to get through today and keep the match, or the tie, I should say, in a state where it was close enough for us to be able to pull it out. We couldn't get in a position where the whole tie was lost today. That was the key. Just don't lose the tie tonight. And to be fair, that's how I came into it. Now, of course, we know they went well and beyond that. They actually won the tie. But I admittedly was a little bit concerned. So, Spartacus, I want to know from you, when you saw that lineup and you saw that center midfield or defensive midfielder partnership of Nico O'Reilly and Bernardo, what were your thoughts?
I was very concerned over O'Reilly. Can you guys hear me well?
Yeah.
Okay. I was very concerned about O'Reilly, and I thought that Bernardo and Foden would have to have a brilliant match for us to stand a chance. And I think that's what happened. I think Bernardo and Foden were outstanding today at just relieving pressure from the opposition and going deep to get the ball, collect it, and find players ahead of them. I think they were outstanding at that.
Yeah, Phil, I remember Phil being deep. Well, I'm used to Bernardo dropping deep. Phil, I felt like was much deeper tonight than maybe I remember seeing him in some of the previous matches. So that's a fair shout.
And I was a little bit concerned over Elaine, not because I don't trust the guy, but because playing without a traditional six ahead of you is ridiculously tough for a defender. And I think the guy, in my opinion, he was man of the match. Like,
Interesting.
The guy he did nothing wrong, and he was making some runs into the midfield, dragging the ball up the field, beating the first line of press with passing, carrying both the feet. Like, I was really, really impressed with the kid.
That's interesting that you said you thought, and to make sure I understood you correctly, you're saying that you thought Max Lane was the man of the match.
Yep.
All right. I know I've seen some people that have said, like I'm looking at a comment from Magnus where he says it was Bernardo man of the match for him. I know when I was on with LB right before I came back over here, LB thought that Doku was a man of the match. And I don't know that there's a right or a wrong necessarily. And I think the fact that we have multiple people that we can at least have a conversation about is a good thing. That says that we played overall pretty well. But I'd be interested for everybody else to put your thoughts in the chat. Let me know who you thought man of the match was. Go ahead, Louis. My bad.
I need to call out someone on that chat as well, but I am sure we're going to get that. We're going to chat about that later on in the show.
I have
For who your man of the match was, or
no, I a defender.
Mm.
Yeah, chat about that later on. But for me, I have to say, because of his impact and the way he's come to City and the way he's like introduced himself, for me, it's Semenyo. But I'm not going to put my whole details into it now. But later on, it's incredible the things he's talked about, and he's already.
I think the wingers were pretty poor today. Both wingers.
Can we just talk about the game first, Spartacus?
Okay.
It is amazing.
Talk about the game first, and then talk about the players after, because we need to go step by step from the game, because there was so much that actually happened without realizing it.
So we'll get into the match, because I hear you. You want to kind of go more, kind of work our way through it. But I do think it's amazing how people can watch the same match and walk away with different, wildly different opinions.
The funny thing is, like, because Sparker said last week, and I wasn't on it, but me and him were in the same group chat, and I was talking to my brother about it as well. I slated Doku in the first half, so basically all I need to do is slate someone off, and then they cook in the second half. I know it's not me. I know it's not me, but it feels like it.
They take it personal, Louis.
So we know what to do. If the game's not going the way we want, we tell Louis, post this person, post some negative comments about this person. Somehow it'll get back into the locker room. They'll see it.
Basically, all I have to say is throughout the season now, I have to say Lewis and Ferrari are shit, and then to say they cook in the second half of the race. That's what I have to do.
Yep.
So is there something specific in the first half that you wanted to call out? Right. I think we ended up. The end of the half did we get our goal in the first half?
No.
So yeah, it was second half, right? So it ended up 0-0 in the first half. Was there anything special about the first half that you were hoping to chat about? Again, I think the first half had that's when we had the save from, and I said
the miss from Pisa.
Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah, and
the save was second half. You're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
The miss from that miss that
the miss.
Husanov tried to get the ball up the field, but then he ended up not getting the ball, and then he couldn't track back in time. So they found the cross into the back post, and Visa just completely mishit it.
I thought initially Wisa was offside, but then the cameras panned and it showed that he was actually onside. Because Ake was playing them, like, it wasn't just Wissa. I don't know who the other, because Murphy put the ball in, but there was another player with him, and both of them were onside because of Ake. And
I think it's
Kusanov does brilliantly to like cover himself to get there with Wissa, but Wissa, like, he tries to go near post and he just skies it. And after that, we had a really good 15 minutes or so, and I thought, okay, we're getting back into this. And then after that, it felt like we didn't put a jab in that first half.
But I think I was extremely happy with the first half. I'm gonna be honest, because
I wasn't. That's my thing.
We go into a game, a two-legged affair, playing away with a derby on the weekend. It's not really about winning the game. It's about keeping the tie alive. And what
that's
we did
how.
in that was like, going back to that, what Tarek said before. I think what we did in that first half was just we're not gonna debut, but we're not gonna like either. So we just held the ball, defended well, and just held possession really.
Yeah, I so for me, the first half was not great, but we didn't, again, like I said, we didn't lose it in the first half. So to me, that was okay. Because I think in the first half, did we have like was there any shots? No shots on
Nope.
target. Yeah, neither team
We
had
didn't
any
have any
shots on
shots.
target. I think the first half was just kind of poor. And I got to be fair. Go ahead. What you were saying?
It was the two. Doku had that moment where he went past Lewis Miley and he put it in, but Haaland made it really clever because he went. This has been my thing for the last few weeks. Haaland never cuts back, and he got into some really good space, but Doku actually goes across. And then the second chance, Doku, he has Lewis Miley, and Miley's like, okay, run past me. And then he passes it to Bernardo, and then he tries to put it across goal so that Haaland taps it in far post or Semenyo, but like it got like Pope saves it.
Did you notice something that Pep changed today that really allowed us to allowed Semenyo to score his goal?
Say that again.
Pep changed something in the way we attack the final third today that really allowed the winger to find those back post runs that Semenyo used to score the goal.
So I couldn't tell you what was changed. Talk to me. Tell me what he changed that opened that door.
So basically, Haaland always makes the run from the middle of the box into the far post for him to get those back post crosses.
Yep.
What he was doing today was he started from his initial position was the back post, but then he ran into the penalty spot to create the space for somebody else to make the far post run. And that somebody else usually is the winger.
Yeah.
So that was something that Pep did today that was very
so you credit that to Pep actually making an emphasis for Haaland. You need to be popping up at the penalty spot versus back post because typically I think what Louis was saying earlier, we always find Haaland making that far post run. Doku is putting the ball to the penalty spot, and we miss each other there. And so now it's like, okay, well let's get the ball across the front of across the face of goal, and we need somebody back post. But you think that's a Pep decision, not a player decision?
I think the movement from Haaland in the attacking third is heavily influenced by Pep. Usually, from what I know, Pep goes like, "Yeah, this is the pattern of play we're gonna make to score the goals," and the players try to replicate that in the ground, like playing football, like in the match. So whenever Haaland does those back post runs consistently, this is the pattern that Pep designed for the game. And when he does that, he also designs the space to be there for the midfielders to run into the box as well. But what he did today was the winger who was on the side of the ball, he was holding the width to create the space for midfielder to running between the centre backs instead of a fullback. That was usually what we were doing before. And then pass the ball into the midfielder who was running into the box for him to cut the ball across. And then Haaland was coming into the near post, into the penalty spot, and the winger on the opposite side was running into the back post. So a couple of times when we flashed the ball across, and we were like, where's Haaland in the back post? Actually, the winger's the one that should be there in that situation because Haaland drifted into the penalty box.
Yeah, but if you're saying that the winger is supposed to be back post and Haaland has been making that run, then you're going to have two people popping up in the same spot. You got to know who's going to go middle or to the penalty spot, basically, and then who's going to make. And so there needs to be some clarity there. But if you're saying that hasn't been the case, or we needed to make a change, or maybe even that Pep was just telling Haaland, you're always going to make the back post run, someone else is going to pop up towards the middle of the pitch. Then so be it. I don't know, but it has been frustrating, and I've complained about it here, there, and everywhere that and LB calls it out, or used to call it out quite a bit as well. How is it that Holland and Doku can't connect ever at any time? It was just insane. It was almost like it's harder for them not to be able to connect than it would be for them to connect. And so I think this season we're starting to see a little bit more of that. So big ups to them. But yeah, no, I guess I didn't attribute that change or that. And I don't know if it's a permanent change. It sounds like you think maybe it was just for today, or maybe it's a new thing now that we have Semenyo on the right, as opposed to say a Cherky. Either way, I don't guess I didn't attribute that to Pep, but I'm glad that whoever made that call it came up in spades, because we used to see that quite a bit. We used to see the Sterling to Sane, Sane to Sterling. That was a common thing. A couple seasons ago, quite a few seasons ago, but we lost that when our wingers changed and our style of play changed. So if we can get back to something like that, yeah, I think it's going to be a long road from here to the end of the season for everybody else. Because if we can get everybody firing, I do believe, again, I think we're still in this title race, and so anything that gets us firing is going to be a good one. So yeah, first half pretty poor all around. The miss, and then the go into halftime. So at halftime we have, or after halftime we have the Scarf Boy. Big up, Scarf Boy. I didn't know you were on, man. Appreciate you being in the chat. Sterling Desane was a product of the false nine system, which Big Earl gets in the way of. That's fair, maybe. Yeah, I didn't think about that, but yeah.
Aguero would be there as well in case Sterling wasn't there at the far post as well. Like, look at the best one I always think of is where Aguero got his hat trick against Newcastle, where Sané does that amazing dribbling. That's the one I always think of.
Realistically, Aguero was more of he was a peeler instead of he wasn't really attacking the far post. He was realistically starting. He did the movement that Haaland did today a lot.
He had a sixth sense though of where the ball would be and like get there and have the ball in the back of the net, sort of thing. Aguero is one of those which is like, it's incredible to like, he knew where the chances came from.
Yep.
You were gonna say, Spartacus, Aguero made the runs that Haaland did today.
Yep. And those runs, they're usually, because what happens when you do those runs is you take away a defender from the back post, so you create a better channel for the ball to go into the back post, but at the same time, you're running into a place which has no defenders really in. So you're creating a passing lane for the player who's hitting the byline to either cut the ball across the goal or cut the ball back into the penalty spot. And it's a very smart run, and I really don't know why we're not doing that as much, and it's kind of very infuriating because.
Well, I think Pep's kind of like talked about it in a way recently, and he's talked about it this season, that like about Sané, about Sterling, and he wants to go back to those wingers now in a way, because that's how we get the chances that we do now. Like Semenyo today, and it's going to happen more often now.
Be nice, Steve.
But this is the thing. I think realistically, any winger really can do those. And even seen last season, fullbacks can do those with Nunes against Villa. That's literally the same thing that we did. Haaland started from a far post position, drift back into the penalty box, and Nunes gets in the far post there to just hit it in. Because that finish on the far post it's just an easy tap in. Any winger really can do that.
No, I'd say that Nunes chance was ridiculous. I still can't believe he actually scored that.
So let's talk about Trafford, because again, when we think about the lineup, we knew Pep had already said that Trafford was going to play. It is, he plays in the cups. We're getting down towards the the business end is I think is what you guys call it, the business end of the tournament. So, some coaches, some managers will make a change and put their number one keeper back in. Pep has decided to stick, and this is not like something unique for Trafford. Pep has typically stuck with his cup keepers the entire way. So, Trafford got his chance to come in. He played well against Exeter, but that was a 10-1 blowout, and it's like, whatever. So this one, I thought he played well. Spartacus, tell them Trafford passing like prime Xabi Alonso. We'll talk about that guy in a little bit later, but what you got for Mael?
I think Trafford's passing today was actually pretty poor, to be honest.
So,
do you want to say that again, Spartacus?
He thought his passing was poor.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm a big Donnarumma fan and he's a big James Trafford fan, so it's quite amazing for me to actually hear that.
But don't
get me wrong, it was
Go ahead.
It was better than Donnarumma's, yes, but it's still not very good.
Yeah. I think there were moments when, I forgot what the lineup was. I'm just kind of watching the match develop because, again, I was working. So, for me, this is during my work time. So I'm watching the match and trying to work at the same time. So I'm a little bit split attention. But to be fair, I'm watching. And if I don't remember in my head that it's that it's Trafford playing, I just did it right there. Right. I wouldn't have been surprised if either one of them was on the pitch, because it wasn't like the passing was so head and shoulders above what I saw from Donnarumma. It was good. But the saves were great as well. And so it wasn't like, oh, that's got to be Donnarumma because he's the only one that can make that save. We've seen Trafford make really good saves as well. Big ups to everybody coming over from the LB raid. Appreciate all of you. Big ups to LB for sending folks over. If this is your first time here, first of all, let me say what's up. But if this is your first time here, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. It helps me grow my channel. Again, all of you have probably met me initially or came across me either on LB's channel or probably on a Martin channel, Martin's Mancunia Way channel. So do me a favor. Give me that support, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. I had a little ticker up at the bottom saying I was trying to get to 300, but it's a little bit distracting and I can't do two things at once. And so I just took it down, but I am trying to get to 300 and I'm about, I don't know, I think it was somewhere close to 250. So there's 263 of us in here tonight. All your support will be helpful. So big ups to all of you. But so, yeah, I thought that Trafford played really well. You said his passing was just okay, Spartacus.
I'll say it was actually pretty poor, to be honest.
Actually, not even okay. It was.
I think it was pretty poor.
Okay.
I don't think it was abysmal, but I think it was pretty poor.
Now, what was it about his passing that you thought wasn't great? Or not even that wasn't great, but that was pretty poor. What made it pretty poor?
I think it was two things, really. I think we didn't set up for the goalkeeper to have a good passing game either, because what we were doing is we were not committing the bodies back early in the build-up. So Foden and Silva were a little bit higher in the early phases of build-up. So this allowed the opposition midfield to be higher up the pitch, so that Trafford couldn't really just ping a pass into the winger for him to be able to cut it back into the midfield. Because there were a lot of people in that area, so the pass had to be inch perfect for it to work. But I also feel like sometimes his passing choice was actually not really the best. For example, the one that I really remember is the one that he passed to Bernardo, and Bernardo tries to hit it first time to the opposite side, but he almost scores an own goal. I think the passing choice there is actually pretty poor. He passes the ball with way too much power to Bernardo, and I don't think passing it to Bernardo there is the right choice. I think he's doing the decoy run for him to hit O'Reilly instead of hitting Bernardo.
I still say in that moment as well, Bernardo. I still say in that moment, Bernardo could easily. I think I can hear on Scarf Boys my own voice.
Yeah, Scarf Boy. I don't know if you got a headset or not, but it's get a little bit of feedback. I got you muted right now. Go ahead.
Oh, is it still pretty bad?
I'll check
He stopped talking. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it
can
has a little bit of.
We're just hearing him through your headset or through your speakers. It's cool. Go ahead. I'll mute you for now. But hold on, before we jump back into it, big up to Scarf Boy, long time supporter going back to all the way back to before I did this with just doing this thing with Shades of Blue. So appreciate you. Thanks for jumping on as always. For anyone, this is your first time on Tuesday nights. I will always post the link. So in the chat, there is a pinned message at the very top of the chat. If you're somebody that wants to jump on it and be a part of the conversation, this is what this is about. The whole point of Tuesday nights was to create an opportunity for people to be able to voice their thoughts on the match, voice their opinions. I was in situations where so many people, I was talking to people or at people about what I thought about the match, but I want to actually have a conversation. And so if you want to jump on, you're more than welcome. There is a link. We'll put you on. Some people choose to come on and kick it with me the entire night. So like a Spartacus, a Louis, even Scarf Boy to some extent will be on for extended periods. But if you want to just come on, have your say, and then drop back off, that's cool too. We open it up for everybody to have your thoughts. You say, well, I'm not really a City fan. That's okay too, because again, this isn't just for City fans. Now, I'm a City fan personally, so I might boo your take. I won't actually boo you. I won't actually boo you because I'm going to be nice to my guests, but I'll just shame you privately in my head. But if you're not a City fan, that's okay, because this is not just for City fans. This is for football fans, footy fans. We just want to talk and have a good time and really just kick it and talk footy. So if you're out there and you want to jump on, you can do that. So Louis, I'm gonna let you finish your statement, and then I'm gonna pull up Scarpo and let him have a little say.
Yeah, I completely forgot what I was about to say.
My bad. I started talking, and I can't shut up. Big up Scarf Boy. Talk to me, man. How you doing? What'd you think about the match?
Yeah, well, first things first, how's my audio? Am I doing all right? Does it sound crazy or what?
Nope, you sound good, man.
Awesome. I got to confess, I really didn't see much of the match. I caught like the 8-minute highlight video, It seems like Semenyo is our guy, but I'm mostly just here to learn. On the commentary, I believe they said it was 8 yellow cards. Is that how it went?
Yeah, we're playing Newcastle. Newcastle is known for the physicality. They're kicking us all across the pitch. So yeah, it was.
And that's so tough match. It's a midweek match. You're just trying to make it through without getting hurt. That's absolutely diabolical. That is you're exactly right. That is kind of Newcastle's identity, right? A couple of years ago, there were some other tough teams, and now I think Newcastle has really become kind of the bully on the park, which is pretty crazy because they're not, by any stretch of the imagination, a top 4 team. If you want to come around and kick us around, at least score a goal or do something nice. But they're really just, I don't want to say thugs, but just a bunch of tough guys and not really too much class, skill, not a whole lot of finishing, not a whole lot of techers. I don't know. But I suppose there's a lane for that. Every league's got to have a bully, right? You got the Baltimore Ravens, right? You had the 90s Pistons. Sometimes that strategy works.
Bad boys.
Yeah, the bad boys. I'm sure you loved the 90s Pistons, didn't you?
No, I'm a Laker fan. That's a well, can I point to it? That's a Magic Johnson poster right there. I'm a Pistons hater. No, not really hater, but I'm a Magic Johnson fan. So no, I'm a Laker fan as a kid. Well, that's another conversation for a different day. But yeah.
You're not a Pacers guy?
So this is, I don't want to get too far removed from the footy talk, right? But I was born in Indiana. My dad was in the Army, right? So we lived all over. Okay. So I spent more time away from Indiana until like my senior year of high school. And I've been here ever since then, but I was all the way. I was living in North Carolina, Germany, whatever. So no, but I was a Laker fan from like little kid, because my dad was a big Magic Johnson fan, watched him at Michigan State, so on and so forth. So, no, I was much more of a Laker fan than anything.
Yeah, I got you. So one other bit of analysis that I heard is somebody else had said, getting back to the footy, it looks like Semenyo is a left winger playing on the right wing. And to me, that means he's a little bit faster and a little bit more of an assist player and not so much a goal scorer. Do you think that's an accurate assessment of how the game played out tonight?
Semenyo?
Definitely. He can be both. He can be both. Like tonight, he was a goal scorer, but he could. There were chances where he could have got in behind, and like drill it to Haaland, but it didn't come about. He can be a bit of both, but I think he'll be more of a goal scorer than he will be an assister. But it's good having Semenyo in the squad because it helps us massively.
I don't see Semenyo as a creative player.
No, I think he's much more of a goal scorer. I do think, and I think the commentator on the US stream at least made a comment something along the lines of he was it on a stream or was it on LB? I don't know. Somebody made the comment that he looked like a left winger playing on the right.
Was it the same as on Sky Sports? Because we had Bill Leslie and
I don't know. I don't know who the people were. I just know it felt like they were a little Newcastle biased, but again, that's me with my city bias, so whatever. Big up to Crunk that's in the chat. Appreciate you. Thanks for being here. But yeah, I do think that. So the comment was probably on LB stream, and someone said that, hey, it looks like he's a left back playing on the right, and we keep buying that profile, right? We keep buying people playing him on the opposite side than what they typically play. Now, again, he played on both sides for Newcastle, for Bournemouth back in the day, so he can play across the front line. But I will say, I think he looked better on the left today. But as far as him being a goal scorer, so he got the first goal, which is just a little bit of a tap in, right? I mean, at the end of the day, it was the ball was the thing. There was a slight deflection.
He was really instinctive. He was really instinctive though. To like, once Bernardo got the touch, he was behind two defenders, and then again, he literally burst in to get that goal into the far post.
Yeah.
Which, if that was Doku, if that was Savinha, if that was Bob, even Cherky, they wouldn't get to that ball that quickly and realize.
So I think I don't want to minimize his score, the goal that he scored, right? But I just think that it was to me, it was more about the ball across. He got his foot on it. He got the goal. But the second goal that ended up being taken away by VAR, that to me was the only person. Like, we've seen Haaland score those goals, right? And we can talk about whether it should have been taken off or it shouldn't, because again, I don't agree with that, but they took it off nonetheless. But Haaland, we've seen Haaland get touches on balls from crazy angles. He's got his foot way up here or behind his back. He's doing all kinds of crazy stuff, but he gets touches on the ball that maybe other people can't get to. And I think the takeaway for me about Semenyo being a goal scorer is he got the touch to the ball that I don't know that most other people get there. And again, maybe it wasn't I don't know. He got a touch to the ball that I didn't think anybody else on our team, with the exception of Haaland, gets a touch on. And he converted from it.
The thing with that chance is the way that the ball goes in is very lucky. But the thing is, not many players would try to get a hit on that ball to even get the chance of being lucky. And I think Semenyo just does it. But he's like, yeah, I'm just going to hit the ball and see what happens at times. And if you do that, anything can really happen. And I think he did it.
And I think that's the difference between a lot of the players on our team, where we've been accustomed to, the perfect goal. And sometimes I think we overpass, or we do things trying to find the perfect play, the perfect pass, as opposed to sometimes you just got to put the ball in frame and make the keeper make a save. And of course, when you just keep kicking the ball right at the keeper, that sucks. No one appreciates that, but you got to take chances, make people make saves. And so to your point, just get a foot on it, see what's going to happen. And he did. And so credit to him. It's a great start for him. What is that? 2 goals and 2 goals and an assist in the first 2 matches. Again, Exeter. Okay, you could just basically say, well, it's the competition that he's playing, right? But he hit the ground running, and now he's come out against Newcastle and does the same thing. So I'm really excited to see what he's going to do and what he brings to our club and what to our team. Because again, I think it's something that we don't really have, especially with Marmoush out. We don't have anyone else that's a killer in front of goal, except for Holland, and we need
And
that.
Foden also. I think we have a couple. We
Foden.
don't have on the wide areas. I think we have Foden. I think we have Reinders. I think Bernardo is a very good finisher. He just doesn't get into those positions very much because he's still
but
sit a little bit deeper.
I mean, I can't say. So I hear you, right? But let's just be honest. Bernardo, those days, I mean, he gets the occasional goal, but I hear you on the Reinders, right? Reinders gets in really good positions, and he's starting to score more as the season has gone on. But there's been a lot of times where he's not taken opportunities that we thought, or I thought, I won't put this on you guys, that I thought he should have converted, right? And this isn't for me to find blame, because at the end of the day, we're talking about today's match. We got a good win. I don't want to, bring the mood down by trying to find issues or criticism or anything like that. I just think that there's still more for Reinders to do, and I think he's doing that, and I'm glad to see him moving and progressing in the right direction. But I'm definitely excited about the addition of Semenyo to the club, and I think it adds a lot to what we're going to do and our prospects from now till the end of the season.
Reinders is actually massively overperforming his expected goals, which I know a lot of people don't really like talking about XG, but I think it's a very interesting metric to use. He is on 5 goals in the Premier League right now. He should be, in theory, like if you count XG, he should be on 3.7 goals, so 4-ish goals. Being 1 goal over the XG is a lot. A lot of players don't overperform like that. So I don't know. Like, maybe he should be scoring more, but I think he's also scoring to the rate that I was kind of expecting.
That's fair. No, that's fair. I see this comment from Kathy. Eddie McCready has died, age 85. Chelsea, probably remember him tomorrow. So I'm going to assume that none of us are 85, and probably most of us haven't seen Eddie McCready actually play. And I could be saying his name wrong. As an American, I know I don't know who this is, right? So somebody tell me about this guy. Why should Chelsea be remembering him? What did he do? Obviously he's 85, so it's a little long ago, but anyone have thoughts on this guy?
This is where we needed Martin.
Okay, I need to go look it up then. I'll look it up. Kathy, if you're still in the chat, just tell me a little bit about why, outside of just him being a Chelsea player, maybe there's something special that maybe I should know about. So again, I recognize that as an American that is relatively new to the sport, there's a lot that I don't know. So I'm just always trying to educate myself, right? Always trying to learn, always trying to know more. So yeah, I'll look it up if I don't hear anything.
Maybe he won the World Cup with England and Bobby Moore.
He's
Okay.
Scottish. He's Scottish.
He's Scottish, so that's
Scottish. Oh, because of the Mick. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Fullback 11 years at Chelsea, apparently. Okay. Well, anytime a former player has passed, of course, we want to show respect and all that. But I was just wondering if there was something that I should know. Managerial
career, he was at Chelsea, and then from 78 to 79, Memphis Rogues, and 79 to 82, Cleveland Force. Wikipedia.
There you go. He was a part of the decent Chelsea team along with Osgood Benetti. Good club player. Cool.
Thanks, Magnus.
I love how Hall's captain refuses to say good.
Refuses to say what?
Refuses to call it a good team.
Oh, a decent Chelsea team. Hey, you know what? Hey, Chelsea, they don't get any credit. We don't give out superlatives unless you put on the sky blue. So they got that wrong shade.
If you know the meme, you know the meme.
Yeah, wrong shade of blue. Anyway, yeah. So we're talking about the match. We were talking about Trafford. So you said that you didn't think his passing was great today. What did you think about his keeping the ball out of the back of the net? I thought he had made an amazing save. And it was almost like a double. Well, it really wasn't a double save. He made the save, and then there was one where
It hit the
The rebound was put off the post. I mean,
I think that was one of the 3 best saves of the season.
yeah.
It wasn't off the bar. It wasn't off the bar. He actually put it onto the bar.
Okay, well there you go. So again, I think that sequence was exceptional.
I feel so bad for Trafford because I think so far he had 2 out of the 3 best saves we had all season. And I would say that the top 5, 4 are Trafford saves.
Which was the second? Because I know one of them was for Spurs. Was it second goal?
I think you can pick between the double save against Spurs, the corner against Brighton where he just claws the ball back from I think it won save of the month as well, and that Mitoma shot against Brighton as well. And there was also a good save against Esther, the one from the corner where he just they should be scoring that, but Trafford does brilliantly to keep it out.
Yeah. Top 3 of the season. Well, so Larry, I'm getting your name wrong. Apologies, Lauricio. If I get it wrong, my bad. I see you got Tottenham players in the profile pick. So what I'll say is I think we're talking about top 3 saves for City of the season. So that's not to say it's the top 3 in the entire league, but for City, Spartacus is saying that he thinks that was one of the top 3 saves. Now, that being said, Mael says, well, what about Donnarumma's save, United, Brighton, Trafford?
Which one against Brighton?
I guess Donnarumma. Yeah.
The United one? Yeah, I think that's my second best save of the season.
I think he's talking about the Matoma. Was it Matoma or the one from the corner?
There was a shot from Mitoma that Trafford saved. That was actually a very good save. And there was a corner against Brighton that he saved. I think that was the best save of the season.
I still say Donnarumma's against United from Mbeumo's. I still say that's the best of the season so far.
So yeah, what I will give Trafford credit for is he's played a fraction of the matches that Donnarumma has, and the fact that we are even in this conversation and can point to this save and that save and this save that Trafford has made, I think that's just a testament to how good he is, and I do think that it is why he will be in contention to go anywhere he wants to go next season. If he wants to go. And it's why I think that he should still be in consideration. And again, I'm not English, so you guys will feel different, but I think he should still be in consideration for a spot with the English national team, even if he's not playing every single match, because the kid is he's just really, really good.
I think the only thing is he'll probably call Tuchel and say, what do I need to do to be number 1 for England?
And he'll tell him he needs to go someplace else.
Yeah, exactly. So if he does that, then we're in a sticky situation, because he'll probably say, I want to leave. Even if Pep's saying what he's saying, yeah, that'll be the problem. But,
and there is no way we'll let him go right now. Like, he's not. I don't think there is any money really that we're gonna sell it.
I think this is supposed to say Wiss's shot was put off by Maxaline.
I wanted to say that, but I was like, I'm going to keep myself quiet.
Yeah. Again, I think that, so again, when you look at the lineup and you see who's playing, you got to give credit to the folks that, because again, you see the center back partnership, and that's all we really have, right? We got to play what we got. Can't complain about it. And at least until Gahey comes in, if Gahey comes in, this is what we're going to be rolling with. So the partnership between Kuzanov and Max Lane, that the more they play together, the more they develop that camaraderie and that confidence, and just knowing each other is just going to be very helpful for us. So they got at least another couple weeks, because I think Diaz is out still for some time. Big up to Darsh. Big up to Darsh for joining. Appreciate you.
Yes.
Anything you want to say?
Yeah, I don't know how far I gone into it, but I'm going to say one thing. A special mention to someone called Nathan Ake. I'm going to say why. This guy, he's been playing with painkiller injections, a following knee strapped, since the start of January, yeah? He could have easily gone out the door, yeah, and pushed for a move to make the World Cup squad and forget about City. But the guy stayed and has fought for the fans, for the club, and for the entire squad.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, there's no other player in world football right now that would take that risk, that sacrifice that Nathan Ake is doing. Because I think people don't understand how big the World Cup is to players. It's massive, and he's sacrificing that for this football club. You may not have to like him as a footballer, that's up to you. We want to debate it. But his mentality, his mindset, his heart, you just can't question that. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
And
and
when he
I'll
leaves the
say,
football club,
and
he'll be a
I
legend.
think Snoopy said it here. He did this last season too. Praised him for playing hurt. Big respect to Nathan. Yeah, so definitely, I think to your point, Darsh, right? No one can criticize or question the heart, the mentality, the commitment. We can say, and I think this is what you're saying, right? We can say that maybe he's not as good as he used to be. Maybe he's not City quality anymore. But when it comes to someone who's willing to do everything for the cause, he's been there. And to Pep's credit, we have had players like this through the years. I think about Laporte, yeah, left back. Again, he was hurt, but he played and he played and he played and he got us across the line. But again, it wasn't he wasn't in, and ultimately I think it ended up costing him the rest of his City career, because it kind of got cut short because he just couldn't get back healthy to the level that he was before. Ake has done that. Kanji has done that. Even Stones. I mean, there have been times where, and I started this stream giving Stones a little bit of grief because actually that was on LB earlier. I gave him a little bit of grief because I was like, you know what? He's never available. But again, he's put himself and his body on the line down through the years, and so it's costing him now. So yeah, man, I appreciate you giving showing love where love is due, right? Giving credit where credit is due, and I do think it is if we're not careful as fans, we can be kind of a little too hard on our players because they're not who they used to be. But there's a reason for that, right? There's things that play into that. Why is he not who he used to be? Because he can't stay healthy. Well, why can't he stay healthy? Because he gave everything he had to this club, and I don't ever want to take that for granted. So big up to you, Darsh, for giving love where love is due, man.
Yes.
Big up to Casually FC. Chelsea. I don't know if you're in the chat, man. I wish you were on a few minutes earlier, because I think somebody made a comment about Chelsea and how they're not that good. It's the wrong shade of blue and all this. But big ups to you, brother. I appreciate it. We were on with I think we were on Hussam's stream, maybe, or maybe it was Mo. I think it was Judge Mo together, and so I got to meet him for the first time. If you are a Chelsea fan and you're not already subscribed to his channel, go subscribe to his channel. Even if you're not a Chelsea fan, but you want to just support content creators, footy creators, go ahead and subscribe to his channel. Give him some support. He's a good dude. I mean, he is a Chelsea fan, but at the end of the day, he's got good takes. He understands that there's levels to this thing, and Chelsea's level is not quite City's level. But hey, brother, if you're on, there's a link, and this is for everybody, but for Casually FC, there's a link at the top of the chat. It's a pinned message that has the link for the stream. So if you want to jump in, you want to have a little chat, feel free. But nonetheless, man, I appreciate the support. So yeah, Ake is playing through pain with his LCL, which is the outside ligament of his knee. Yeah, and so I don't know the details of the injury, but yeah, that's never a good thing to have a long-term injury like that.
I know he will definitely help out with that a lot.
With him and O'Reilly as well, don't forget.
Yeah, exactly.
So when he came on, he looked more sharper.
Lauricio asked the question, why have you got super chats turned off? And I got to tell you that I don't have super chats turned off. You actually have to reach a certain level before super chats even become available to you.
500. Is that
So
500?
you got to have at least 500 subscribers plus all this other stuff. So when I say I'm on my rate, I'm trying to get to 500 by the end of June, right? So by July 1st, I want to at least hit 500 by July 1st. That's a little bit of a stretch. I don't know. But I believe that there's enough City fans in content creators, and I go on enough different places that I can get to 500 by July 1st. So Lauricio, I know you're not a City fan. Do me a favor, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to get to 300. 300 is just the next step, trying to get to 5. But yeah, once we get to 5, then we'll be able to turn super chats and things like that on. Again, I don't want to go too far into this, but yeah, I pay out of my pocket to be able to come and do this, right? So yeah, if we can get super chats turned on and there's enough money that comes in that can help support the channel, great. But at the end of the day, I'm doing this because I just love talking footy. I love talking City. And so I wanted an avenue to be able to do it in addition to the things that I have been doing other places. So I don't have super chats turned off. I just haven't qualified for it as of yet. So appreciate the support. Appreciate the fact that you were even considering sending a super chat. Big up. I appreciate that. Just subscribe, so hopefully soon I can send you. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you. Snoopy said you have to have 1,000 subs and 1 million watch hours, something like that. Yeah, it's like 500 and 3,000 is the number. I'm gonna get there eventually, thanks to all of you. Again, I appreciate the fact that every Tuesday night, I come here every Tuesday night, and I've tried to keep it to, and I'm going to start branching out doing more. But I've kept it to Tuesday nights because I'm on with Shades of Blue. I'm on with LB. I'm on with Martin. So I wanted to block off a time every single week. I'm going to be here. We're going to do this. And so that's been Tuesday nights so far. Yeah, we hope it'll continue to grow. We'll continue to do new things, but big ups to everybody that has been here every single Tuesday night. Those that, are faithful. Louis is on here all the time. Spartacus is on here all the time. I won't say all the names because I'll forget people, and I don't want to do that. But all of you that are here, just know that I appreciate it, man. And so I appreciate each and every one of you. Snoopy, man, that dude, Snoopy will be on before I get on, and he's already left a comment. I just love it. I appreciate it. Before I can even get on to get everything set up, he's already left a comment saying, "Hey, I'm here. I got your back." And I think that's a testament to City fans and the City content creator space. Because again, I found out that he's a Miami fan, Hurricanes fan, and so we have that in common. We're both going to be praying and hoping and celebrating on Monday. But those things don't happen unless I connect with him in these kinds of situations or on other streams or whatever. So what's that?
Do you think you got a chance this year for the Super Bowl?
So for the Super Bowl, I really don't even care. I don't be honest with you. I haven't even paid any attention. My focus when it comes to American football right now has been fully on my Miami Hurricanes. And we got one more match, one more game. It's the championship game. Excuse me. It's the national championship game. And so we're going to do our best to win it. It's been a long time. And so, man, I'm excited about it. So big up to Snoopy and for being here and for hopefully we get this win. But yeah, I just wanted to say that I appreciate everybody for showing love. Big ups to Samantha. Appreciate you. I got so many people that have got. So again, this comment, this little pop up here, this is not everybody that subscribes. I do try to show it when it comes up. I think it's like you have to have your subscriptions public or something like that. So if you subscribed and I didn't get a notification or a chat didn't pop up and I didn't show it, it's not because I don't appreciate it. It's just because if it's not public, the stream elements won't show it to me. So big ups to each. And I'll go through all of them at the end before we get off. I'll make sure I show everybody love. But Lauricio says he supports the Dolphins. Now McDaniels have been secretary. They just lost their manager. So yeah, anything else we want to talk about with the match today? Obviously, a big win. Big win. Anything else we want to say about today?
Can we talk about the fucking clusterfuck of the PGMOL?
VAR. VAR.
No, not VAR. The PGMOL.
Okay. Why not VAR? Why PGMOL?
It's because all those clowns, they don't understand the system of the game. VAR is right. Like, I'm sure in the World Cup and other tournaments, like, in Europe as well, they'll be completely fine. But in this country, the only worst ones. I watched the Super Cup final with Super Cup. Only Spain is worse than us for decisions.
Pick up, Eddie.
You had to, didn't you? It's the whole. It's the referees here, and the moment the camera panned to Stuart Atwell, I was like, they're going to give this as offside. Because Stuart Atwell, on my head, he's got something against us. He gave the goal for Bruno Fernandes in the derby in 2023. The referees in this country are so dumb. I can't even, words do not explain it. Words do not explain it for me.
I'm going to say something that probably goes against the people here, but I think that he did interfere with play and he was offside, but my issue with this is that the referees have no consistency whatsoever, because what we did today is basically every team from Arsenal in corners ever.
It was Morgan's right on Nico Riley when Cherky scored his goal. Yep. It's exactly the same. It's exactly the same because Chow has his hands on Haaland as much as Haaland has his hands on Chow.
So I see Cisco's comment, but I don't think the explanation was that he impeded the keeper. I think he impeded the defender. So it was was it Dao Chow, however you say his name. I think he was the one that they were saying was being impeded because basically it was almost as if Haaland was setting it using basketball terms. He was kind of setting a pick. Dude couldn't get through it, so that opened up the backside for the ball to sneak through. My statement though is that there was never an attempt by the defender to get around Haaland. As a matter of fact, he wasn't trying to get around Haaland. He was trying to keep Haaland locked down. So as long as Haaland was still, he was doing. He thought he was accomplishing what he was going for. So it's not our fault that he basically was trying to hold and pull and grab on Haaland, and Haaland just stood his ground.
I have my thing as well is I don't just have a question on the PGMOL. Why is it all the time fans, pundits, like everyone on their heads? Why blame VAR? Blame PGMOL. If they give you a fine, fine. Call it out. Call it out because it's on them. It's on them. It's not on VAR. It's on the refs because they think they are immune. They're not. They can be called out if you get some fine.
Yeah. So Cisco, I think because they said he was offside, the fact that he was keeping Chow from getting to the ball mattered. So that's where the offside came in. If he was onside, I don't think no one would have cared. It would have just been a goal. But even the offside part was, it's so hard to say, is it legit? Because where was it taken from? What part of the body? Whose foot was that? Was it his? There's just so much that is uncertain and unclear. We try to present VAR as if it's it's an absolute certainty. I don't know that it is, but at the end of the day, we ended up getting the second goal. And so we do get the 2-0 lead going into the second leg. So that was important. But yeah, having 3 might have really put the whole thing away to begin with. But
I just hope that they keep this one consistent from now on. And every time that this happens, where a player just doesn't allow somebody else to move and he's offside, it's given, because that is going to just make Arsenal score about 70% less goals. because they're not going to be able to do their bullshit out of corners anymore.
Because
And
they run pick plays all the time, where they're blocking off defenders from being able to run to the to the back post or whatever, and they're getting Gabriel around and the ball coming over the top, and he's got free headers because no one can get there because they're being blocked off. If that's the rule, and there was nobody even there, that's the whole crazy part. There was nobody even there to I don't know. It was frustrating. But so the question is, what about clear and obvious? I don't know that there was anything about it that was clear and obvious because it took 6 minutes.
They put it as the like the headline grabbing, like when VAR came in, and they've stuck with it, and it's not clear and obvious anymore. It's just we'll make they might as well go. We make it up as we go along.
Yeah.
Last feels season, like that at least.
At Etihad, when we first Arsenal for 2-2, I remember when we had Trossard. There was another player surrounding Ederson, impeding him, for the Gabriel goal. Yeah. So that's allowed. But today, Chow and Hon have a little tough up, near Pope. And then that's not given. This is the thing. This is what Pep even said. Foden on Shaw, in the last game at St. James, not given that penalty. Doku not given that penalty. Harvey Barnes for the offside goal, not given. Today, same thing happened again. I'm sorry. I'm a person, that doesn't report. I kind of put it on VAR. I put it on our team to get other goals. I'm more of that type of guy. I don't really blame the referees, etc. Because I don't really see him as this form of friend, etc. But today, and Sparkus will even tell you this, I cracked. This can't go on, man. You go on.
Well, the new offside that's going to be introduced. The moment that comes in, will help out a lot.
Oh, that would just make things.
Oh,
worse.
But you think so? You like that? So that's
make it worse.
So let's reset.
In that situation.
Hold on, Louis. Hold on. Let's explain what we're talking about. So you're talking about the rule that was proposed by Arsene Wenger that basically says, like right now they're drawing lines, right? And any part of the body is beyond the defender is considered offside. This new rule basically would say that your whole body has to be past the defender in order to be offside. So they'll still draw lines, but the lines will be on the back heel of the attacker and the front of the defender to see if there's any way that they cross over or not. So there'll still be lines, but it'll be less, right? So that's the rule that you're referring to. Spartacus, you said that's going to be even worse.
I think that's going to be even worse for the game as a whole, because when you do that, you're just killing the possibility of you playing a high line, and you're forcing everything to play just low blocks. And then the whole situation where you have those millimeters and you're like 1 millimeter away from being offside, instead of being because your foot is a little bit ahead, it's going to be because your heel is a little bit ahead of the opposition. It's just moving the goalpost slightly. It's not fixing the problem at all.
Yeah, where the lines get drawn will be different, but there'll still be lines drawn.
And it changes stance as well, because it goes into a low block as well. Many teams will go into a low block. Trust me, if that happens. So the idea of a high line will be dissipated.
Yeah, I don't think you can play a high line with that one. Because if you do,
because you're gonna get destroyed.
Yeah. The concept of an offside line is gonna be just pretty much impossible for you to pull off now.
Now, has that rule been officially approved, accepted, and it's definitely coming in, or is it still being talked about?
No clue.
Apparently, from Martin Ziegler.
Go
ahead, Darsh.
Yeah, so Martin Ziegler, apparently there's a report going on that they oppose, I'm talking about the English clubs, by the way, where they're opposing that rule that also Wenger wants to put in. I hope someone can find an article. I seen today on Twitter. So for the English side, they said now. For others, I don't know yet. It depends on what they come out with. But
unless IFAB just go, like, if it becomes like, because I think, didn't they say they're gonna put it as a trial in the World Cup or something? If it becomes
have fun.
I know. But if it becomes a success there, and everyone goes, yeah, it's really good, then they'll put like I've had Bukhari go. We're putting it as a mandate now. Everyone has to go through with it.
Yeah. So Louis, you thought that if this rule comes in, it would be a good thing. Why do you think it'll be a good thing?
It will make offsides a lot more simpler, because the way it's like football is the best sport in the world, but it's the most backwards, if you get me. It's way too basic, and this rule would help out attacking teams a lot. And even with Sparkus' point of view for it, if a moment like that happens in games next season, it's an automatic goal. The only thing that's interfering is Haaland holding the player back, so it's counted as a foul. That's the only way I see it. If that's the case, then I'd go VAR out immediately, because he's not really fouling him. It'd be more like it'd be 6 of 1 and half a dozen sort of thing.
Yeah, no, that's fair. All right. So we talked about the match. Anything else that we want to say about today's match? Oh, so we didn't talk about the last goal, right? Ryan Aït-Nouri comes back from AFCON. I think he was supposed to be, what I read was his flight was delayed, basically. So he got back a little bit late. But he's on the bench. I think it's the 86th, 87th minute he comes on. And quite fair, to be fair, he hadn't really played a lot before AFCON. So we haven't seen a ton of Ryan Aït-Nouri in this squad, but he comes back, he makes his appearance, ends up getting that crucial assist to Ryan Cherki in the final, final minute of the match to get us that second goal to restore that 2-goal lead. So big up to Ryan Aït-Nouri. I'm hopeful that now that he is back, we talked about Ake, right? We talked about him giving his all, but probably not being physically up to what we need to be able to go match in, match out. So having Aït-Nouri back gives us a player that can play on that left side. If we're going to use, we have been using Nico O'Reilly in midfield recently because we've had issues with Rodri and Nico G. So we'll hope to see that he gets some playing time and they can balance out giving Nico O'Reilly a rest because we've said he needs a rest and he just basically just went into a different position, continue to play. So he needs a rest. Hopefully get him a chance to do that. But anyone else have anything on Ryan Aït-Nouri or today's match before we pivot?
I'm glad Aït-Nouri's back back in form and playing, because I really thought he might have a rest and then be back for the derby, but him being back now just helps us out. And with him as well, I really thought the way we played in the first half, I thought he would have helped us out more than Ake. But as Dar said, Ake showed really good performance today. I'm so it's good he's in the team. I'm glad he stuck it out rather than say, yeah, I want to dip and go to another team for my sake for the World Cup. So thank you, Nathan.
The question was asked by Kathy, what injury does Nico G have? And all I can tell you is Pep, in the tweet that I saw, Pep's comment was he has an incredible knock. I don't know what that is supposed to mean, an incredible knock. It's ridiculous.
Such a Pep thing to say.
Yeah, it's like Pep, man. Pep being Pep. But yeah, he has an incredible knock. So hopefully he can have an incredible recovery very, very fast. Because I don't want him to be out for any extended period of time.
Apparently Pep said he's a big doubt for Saturday as well.
Did he say he picked it up in the Brighton match?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he picked up an incredible knock in the Brighton match, and so he's not been available. So I don't know what that means, Kathy. Your guess is as good as mine.
just be careful, Rodri. That's what I say.
Magnus, this is a family show. I'm not gonna put your comment on the screen, man. It's a family show. Although it is like super late night in the UK, so all the kids should be in bed. The kids should be in bed, but you know, I was saying earlier, that I haven't attained enough, you know, subscribers and all that stuff to actually get the first step towards monetization. If I put your comment on the screen, I may never get to monetization, so we're gonna leave it off. But I appreciate the support, Magnus. Big ups, man. All right. So I want to talk about, so last time we were on, I think I titled the stream demonetized before monetized. Exactly. Just shut the whole stream down and the channel and all that kind of stuff. Start over. That's where you're going to have me, brother. But last time when we were on, I think I titled the stream something, and then it was like managerial merry-go-round. And we asked the question, who would be the next manager out? And we listed a bunch of names.
Yeah, I wasn't on that.
You weren't on there?
No, I wasn't on that stream.
Okay. So I asked the question and I listed some names, most of which were like in the PL. The only name that I think might not have been was just, you know, talking about Enrique at PSG.
Yeah, the obvious one as well. The other one as well.
Who?
The one who actually got sacked. But
well, I was going to say, so I did not see this one coming. I thought maybe Arne Slot would be the next up. If I go look at my notes, what did I say? I said, you know, I talked about, well, of course, Enzo Maresca and Ruben Amorim had already left. Arne Slot, the Wolves manager, West Ham manager, Luis Enrique, all of those came to mind. But it ended up being Xabi Alonso at Real Madrid, and I never would have guessed it. Never would have guessed it.
Me and Sparkers were talking about Xabi Alonso and Real Madrid on that same day, about his position and how Perez is going to go through after that, defeating Copa del Rey, not Copa del Rey, Super Copa, and then hours later, Xabi Alonso's getting sacked at Madrid, and fucking Arabola, you know, is taking over. Oh my, they're finishing now.
He walked so Carvajal could run.
Oh mate,
because he was the original right back because he was there with Kaká and Ronaldo when they joined. He was the right back then.
Oh yeah, he was. I forgot about that.
Snoopy said, I knew he was getting sacked. There were too many leaks. And that's fair because we did hear a lot about what was going on in the Real Madrid dressing room, in the training room, the training pitch. You know, we were hearing a lot of talk about what was going on at Real Madrid. So I will give you credit because I didn't pay attention, but now that you say it, yeah, you're right. I saw a video today. So the last match that they played was in Darsh, you were talking about it, the Spanish Supercopa. Yeah, Spanish Super Cup. They're playing against Barcelona, of course, as it typically is. It's a Barca Real Madrid final. Barca ends up winning 3-2. At the end of the match, like I think you typically do,
I didn't see it.
Xabi Alonso is trying to get his team together to come and do a guard of honor. Right? They're going to do a guard of honor for Barca. And his players, led by Kylian Mbappe, he's not going. And he's like, come on, you guys, come on. We're gonna do. And Mbappe's like, no, we're going here. We're going there. We're going, you know, and the players, not all of them, because I think there was like a backup keeper or somebody that was standing over by Alonso, but they all pretty much moved and just went with what Mbappe was doing. And I was like, wow, that is crazy because I just never expected that.
I didn't actually see it. I literally just saw like the ref blew the whistle. I turned off my TV and then it got posted all online. First one I saw was Arda Güler trying to kick a ball.
That was fun.
and he slips on the deck. Arda Güler, sorry, your aura is completely gone now for the rest of your career.
You know what makes it worse? Bedke just did a little skill move just in front of him, just as the game finished, just for the fucks of it, and then he just goes straight down and then tries to kick a bottle and falls down.
The crazy thing was, though, Xabi Alonso, in his post-match interview after the game, he said he wanted to take off Vinny and whoever the other player was as well for tactical reasons or whatever.
Look, I'm gonna say something.
Go on.
I would be very surprised if Vin is still in Europe after the summer.
You think he's going to go to Saudi?
Yep.
Yeah.
So is he a player that you think would want to go? Because a lot of players, they get the opportunity to move for money, but then there's some that are like, you know what, it's not Europe. I want to stay in Europe for a while. So you think he might leave because he's going to get an insanely humongous contract offer?
Yes, but I also don't see other sides in Europe valuing him at how much he values himself. I don't think he will get the wages. I don't think he will get the wages that he's expecting to have out of Madrid and out of any European side.
Yeah, this is what we were talking about, Snoopy.
There's only one I can think of, and they're the neighbours.
Not even Man United. They haven't even looked
They don't
at him.
have any money.
Yeah, but they still would though. Just to make themselves look like they're in that sort of like they think what they are, but they're not.
I don't think even they would be that stupid. Like
they need a player though. They need to change. They need to change the narrative around the club. So
exactly.
I could see. I don't think they could afford it, but I wouldn't be surprised because they're going to need a new face to whatever their new project is going to be.
It's going to be Mbappe. Let's be real about this.
You think it's going to be Mbappe? Wow.
No, they're talking about
United.
Man United, not.
Oh, United. Oh, sorry. United.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. To be fair to you, it doesn't matter who they made. I mean, that's Bruno Fernandes at first. Then now he's gonna fuck off. What? David De Gea. I don't know, man, about United, man. Who's the face? Fucking Jim Ratcliffe and the Glazers. They'll always be the face.
I love that fact that Ineos are still there for other reasons for me.
Oh, mate. Ineos forever, man.
Yeah,
man.
As long as they never get it together, I keep it. It doesn't. If it's not, from my standpoint at least, it's not broke. So don't fix it. Leave it alone. From their standpoint, it's probably definitely broken. But from my standpoint, it's giving exactly what we want. It is not a bug. It is a feature of the system, and I love it. So Xabi Alonso is out at Real Madrid. Who do we think comes in? Obviously, Arbiola is going to be there for at least the interim. I don't know if that's through the end of the season or just for the short term. Does anyone believe at all that Jurgen Klopp might end up there?
No. That's impossible.
I don't see a way because he wants to connect with the players. He wants to coach. I want significant control. At Madrid, they want a yes man. Let's be real. They don't want a guy that manages different stuff around it. They don't want those players at Madrid is culture.
I can see
This is why I'm gonna. I beg Maresca goes to there, man. Please, Maresca. Go there, please.
Are you trying to push Maresca there because you're afraid that he might be our next manager, so you want him off the table?
Oh hell yes! Listen, I want him nowhere near this football club. Yeah, listen.
Yeah,
we done at Chelsea. Fair play. And he stood for what he wanted to do at Chelsea, and he said, "Fuck this, I'm going off." Respect to you. However, I'm sorry. I said to you, you're punching your weight. For me, the way I see it, Madrid. If you want a yes man, go with him, man, please. I'll drive him there to the Real Madrid match tomorrow. Yeah, this is how bad I don't want Mares at the football club, and I've been speaking to Sparks about it so much. Yeah, I'm thinking like Felipe Luis to come in. Those type of coaches that have been under the pressure, that have been in that atmosphere of knowing how to win. Obviously, he's still a young coach, Felipe Luis, but
so one thing I read about Felipe Luis is that he doesn't have his UEFA coaching badges, because I think he's coaching in is it Brazil, Argentina, wherever?
Yeah. Brazil.
So if he doesn't have his UEFA coaching badges, that would be a thing that potentially stands in the way, or they'd have to do something to figure that out. But again, to your point, young player, a young manager, I should say. So I could see, but it just feels like Madrid is all about the name,
Well, there was a report. I can't remember who it was from, but there was players actually going with, like, I think it was a few weeks ago. I saw it, and it was like basically saying, like, to the physio, we are 15-time Champions League winners, as in the players are, and they're not. Which is like, that's alarm bells beyond belief. Like, if you're saying that to physios, I don't know what you can do at that point to the players to like make them go. But it'll probably be like, if those players get an ACL or some sort of really bad injury, they'll go, "Oh, this is on the physios" or whatever, rather than going. Yeah, Real Madrid are just. It's insane.
So, all right. So Alonso is out. They're going to get Arbiola as the interim. We don't think that Klopp is going to go there. Somebody said Klopp is the epitome of a system guy, and that's not going to fly at him. And Real Madrid just doesn't work. All right. So do we think that this impact, or that Xabi Alonso being available, does that make, or does that add any pressure to Arne Slot? I listed him on my list of people that might be next out last week, even before this happened. So now that he's on the table, do we think that might speed up his exit from Liverpool? I hear you saying yes, Spartacus.
I think the next known win result that they have, Slot is gone. If they fail to win a game, Slot is gone.
Sparkus, would you say, no matter what the circumstances, if they get like, if we go to Anfield and we beat them, no matter the situation, no matter the result, if we beat them, will Liverpool pull the plug? Because I got a weird. I just got a feeling that if we beat them at Anfield, especially being the first time since 2003 with Nicholas Anelka, I just get that feeling that if we beat them, and since that game, since that season, like, even then we haven't beat them home and away in God knows how long. Like, probably Madness is the last person who remembers when we won home and away at Anfield.
Mate, I think if they end up drawing against Burnley, he's gone. If they draw any game before that City game, they think he's gone already. I think he's already a walking dead man.
Alonso is tailor-made for Liverpool, according to Timoth. And Frimpong inverts would be happy, according to Snoopy, if Alonso comes in. So, yeah, I mean, I guess we got to keep our eyes peeled, because this could very easily be the next move in the managerial merry-go-round, the transfer. Well, not even the transfer, but the manager. The next manager to come and go might be him. Another manager that we do know is gone is Ruben Amorim. He is out at United. We play United coming up. We're going to talk about we're going to do a preview of the derby here in a second. But what we do know is that Michael Carrick is going to be the new interim caretaker manager, going to come in from now through the end of the season. Is there any concern about a new manager bounce on the weekend?
No.
It's a derby. It's a derby, man. Anything can happen. You know, new manager bounce. Just
derby period. It doesn't even matter about the new manager. I feel you on that.
Yeah,
I feel you on that.
It's all pride on the line at the moment. maybe does United want to make a statement saying on the weekend, and they won't be looking for blood. And I think when we go to Old Trafford, it's going to be ruckus, it's going to be hostile. And listen, we got to match that intensity. I know there's questions on Erling Haaland and Phil Foden, and rightly so, but this is their time, man. This is their time to make their mark and say, I'll be there to clutch the fucking win. And we rely on them. They're the top 2 scorers in the last 4 or 5 derby matches, Foden and Haaland. So they will turn up. Hopefully they turn up, because this is their bread and butter. They live for.
So Michael Carrick is going to come in. I think I read where he's played in his time at Middlesbrough. He played a 4-2-3-1, which might be better for that United squad, but is a difference. It's a change in the system from what Ruben Amorim has done. It's a change in the system and the players that they were buying. The profile it needs, the players that they need are going to be different. So I'm with you. I think that anything can happen on Derby Day. And so we just hope that, the boys come out and be professional, get the job done, especially when we know we have as many, whether it be injuries, tired players, so on and so forth. Again, someone said, well, Magnus is saying it would suit Mainu, which is probably fair.
Yeah.
Snoopy said, I hate that it's the early kickoff. I hate that as well, because I don't think that we typically perform as well in those matches. And I don't want to be Jurgen Klopp, because I remember him saying that, we got too many of these early kickoffs, and that's what's causing us to lose matches. And, I don't want to be that guy. But yeah, I do think that there's something to be said about, that early morning kickoff. So between the early kickoff, the fact that it's a derby, I'm with you. Anything can happen. So when we talk about lineups, what do you want to see in the match or in the derby? What do you want to see as a lineup? That's actually let's pull up the lineup builder.
Trafford in that, right? Everybody, correct?
I hear you. I see what we're doing. I see what we're doing. All right. Let's go ahead and pull this up.
Sparkus, you're going to try to rage bait everyone.
That's what it sounded like, didn't it? He's straight coming for the rage bait right off the top. Right from the beginning. It's like, wow, you didn't even just went straight for it. All right. So in the game against the neighbors, the folks down the street and around the corner, the folks with the permanent water feature in their stadium, the Rats, all of the above, right? So do we think it's fair to say we're going with Donnarumma?
Sparkus, you madman. Why do you say his name, for crying out loud? You know it's Donnarumma.
We got another. He
did that for me. He did that for me.
We said he was rage baiting. So, yeah. Magnus said,
I take that personally. I take that personally from Sparkus. He knows it as well.
So, hold on real quick. Big up to 1-0 to 10 men. Man U in the bin. All right. Big ups to you for jumping on. Did you want to have a comment on the lineup for the derby, or do you want to have something else to say? I don't know your name. I only see what you put on the post on the thing, which is 1-0 to 10 men. So I apologize. All right. I'm not hearing anything, so I'm going to go ahead and remove you from the stream. If you want to back in, go ahead and hit the button. Come back on. Oh, wait. Hold on. There you go. You're really, really soft.
I think he's singing Semenyo.
Oh, is he singing a Semenyo chant?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Okay, yeah. The audio is very, very faint. Yeah. I can barely hear it. But I appreciate you jumping on. Appreciate the support. And
Sir, if you could speak a little bit
just a little bit louder.
We can barely hear you.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and remove him. We're gonna keep moving. I don't not to be rude. I apologize if it feels that way. I just need to be able to hear you, and I can't hear you. I don't know if there's maybe trying to keep the audio low because of you don't have a headset or whatever. But yeah, just a little bit more on the audio will be helpful, and we can get you back on. All right, so we're going with Donnarumma in the net, regardless of what Spartacus says.
Well, I just want to give the kid has done well. I want to reward him for a good performance.
Yeah, I hear you. That's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. So we know Kuzanov, and are we assuming Max Lane here?
Do we know Kuzanov? Do we know Kuzanov?
Yes. Yeah.
What's the other option? What's the other option if it's not Kuzanov?
I would play Nunes, Alain, Ake, or O'Reilly.
Well, I could be fit then. That's $1 billion question. You be fit then.
Let's hope so. That's all we can do. We can only hope and pray with Ake.
Yeah.
So that must have been Callum McCoyle. It's my side, G. Sorry, broke headphones. Big up, man. Appreciate you. It's all good. If you get it worked out, you're more than welcome to come back on. I just couldn't hear you, and so I couldn't really respond to what you were saying. So big up. I appreciate you being here, man, though, either way. All right. So we know. So you don't want Kuzanov in a lane. You want. Did you say Kuza? Oh, you want a lane in Ake. Oh. But is a lane. So I need to figure out.
I think the partnership right now between those two, I think, is just it works. It works really well between them. They understand each other. If you like, and plus, Alain's trusted to be on that left-hand side for now, so I trust him more on there than Ake.
On the right, is there anyone that wants? Oh, no. I know what you're saying, but I want to go back to the right. Is there anyone that's willing to say we should put, instead of going with Mateus Nunes, we should go with Rico Lewis or any other right back option?
Yeah.
Nah, I just think it prefers Nunes.
All right, so Mateus Nunes on the right. There's some discussion about this, but I personally like the partnership. I think it's important to give them, more and more time on the pitch together. I don't know that Ake is going to be, again, he just played a couple matches in a row. I don't know if he'll be good enough to go. And then I also know that Ake is a left-footed player, so left center back. I know we're looking at Alain as being kind of two-footed. But I don't know if I don't. Maybe he's right-footed and just playing on the left. But I don't know if I would want to put Alain on the right on his weak foot. And I've never seen Ake have, be on that right side and play well. He's always been the left.
I'm 90% sure that Alain is right-footed.
He's right-footed, just playing on the left. Okay, so then maybe he could go Alain Ake. Chat, what are your thoughts? Alain on the right or Kuzanov?
Because this is the thing, I don't think we can go to Old Trafford with a back four of Nunes, Kuzanov, Alain, and O'Reilly. And I think having O'Reilly as a left back is...
We just went to Newcastle, which is a lot tougher than Old Trafford, to be fair. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, but we didn't have that guy.
Alain Kuzanov were two of our best players tonight.
Yeah, no, I agree, Louis, but this is the thing. I think today we had Ake as a left back. He provided so much confidence to the other two, and he just had he has this leadership role among the two of them. Among those two, the Kuzanov and Alain, and I don't think that we want to play Ake as a left back at Old Trafford. I think we want to play Ake centrally, so it would be either Kuzanov or Alain, and I think Alain has just been the better player.
I still go with I'm saying Elaine and Kuznov as the centre back pair and Nico O'Reilly as left back.
I think that's
So,
too young.
all right, left back. I hear Nico O'Reilly. Is there anyone advocating for Ryan Aitnori? Got an assist tonight?
I think it really depends on how fit O'Reilly is. If O'Reilly is completely knackered, yeah, play Aitnori. If not, just play O'Reilly.
I have to say how we dealt with Joe Linton tonight was exceptional, especially in the first half when Joe Linton tried to get that clip, tried to bully him off when he was off the ball, where both of them got that yellow in the first half. Like O'Reilly really stood his ground against him, and it's like, mate, what are you doing?
So you guys know, those of you that have been on my streams, you know I'm a little older. My kid is probably the same age, maybe a little older than probably about the same age as Nico G. Sorry, not Nico G. Nico O'Reilly. So when I'm watching this match, this is like my kid, the same age as my kid out there, and I feel like why is he out there bullying a kid? Why is Joel Linton out there bullying a kid? But I also recognize that if you're old enough to play, if you're good enough to play, if you put the shirt on, then you get the same regardless of what age you are. So I respect the fact that he treated him just like any other senior player. I respect, to your point, I respect Nico O'Reilly for standing up for himself, not being intimidated, standing up, willing to have a little tussle. And I appreciate and I respect Mateus Nunes for being the first one over to have his teammates back. And so as a dad, that's what I want to see. I want to see you come to your quote unquote brother's defense.
As did Spartacus say it to you on the stream last week as well? Like, Nunes is of Brazilian descent. He was born from there, so it's good he backs him up in that situation.
Yeah. O'Reilly and Nunes are actually very good friends.
Good.
I've got a mad take, and you'd be so Pep to do it. I've got the feeling that Pep will put Ryan Aitnori left back, and if Rodri's not fit enough to do 90 minutes, I think he'll put Nico O'Reilly back in the 6, and then in the second half, he'll put on Rodri. I've got a funny feeling. I don't know why, but I feel like he wants to put back Rodri.
Wouldn't it make more sense? Wouldn't it make more sense what he did tonight though? He had Nico O'Reilly. He brought on Rodri on the 60th minute, had Nico O'Reilly go to left back, and then for the last 10 minutes do the same thing again with Aitnori coming on. Because I do hear you, by the way, because that left back role from Aitnori and especially for Cherki's goal, his assist to him, that reminded me a lot of what he did for us in the Club World Cup. Because he was really was good for us in that Club World Cup. So it's good having those options again now. I'm just more because it's Derby. I'm wanting as many Mancunians in that team, and especially after what Cherky said when he joined us, he's my number one to be in the team.
Yeah, listen. By the way, I'm not for it. By the way, I'm just saying what Pep might do when I'm looking at it, because we don't know the severity of Nico G's injury. We just don't know, and if it's bad, I can just imagine Pep trying to look after Rodri because
it's a very special injury.
Is it fair to say Bernardo is going to be in one of these midfield positions?
Right side, yes. I think the two in midfield is going to be Bernardo and Foden.
Yeah.
You think Foden?
Do you really not think Tajani? Do you really not think Tajani for Bernardo? But I kind of get him as well as Bernardo because he gets the derby. But I think,
I think that
I think so.
If it was Rodri, maybe. If it's not Rodri, then definitely Bernardo.
I'm putting Rodri as the DM.
I think even if Rodri is the DM, I still think that we're going to have Bernardo in the midfield.
Mm.
I think the 4-3-3 was actually a better representation, by the way, than the 4-2-3-1.
All right, so we got Bernardo, Foden. If he's healthy, we think it's Rodri, but we don't know if he's healthy. We don't know if Nico G's actually going to be back because, as Pep said it, he's got a quote unquote incredible knock. Of course,
I've never heard that in my life.
I'm gonna keep calling it out because it's like ridiculous. It's just a ridiculous thing to say.
No, if Danny's watching it, I'm with him. He should have said it the same way he did it with that Southampton penalty we should have had. Incredible.
All right, so we're gonna put Rodri here because, of course, if he's available, he's gonna be here.
Yeah.
If he's not available, we think maybe O'Reilly moves here, and then Ike Nori comes in at left back. So what I want to know is, what is the winger combination?
Semenyo
I'll
Turkey.
play the same, Semenyo Turkey.
Well, you got to remember what Turkey said when he did his first interview with us. He says he wants to kill Manchester United.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just want him to do the same celebration
Yes.
he did against Denver.
Yeah.
I love
he did the same celebration as he did against Wolves, by the way, tonight.
So, is there anybody that wants to see the Semenyo Doku partnership or winger combination?
I wouldn't be against it, but it depends on what you want in that game. What was the aim? To create more chances against Old Trafford. So
yeah, I just want Semenyo to score again like he did against for Bournemouth, because it'll be that yeah.
So Antoine Semenyo. So a front four of Holland, Semenyo, Foden, and Cherki.
Yeah.
The midfield defensive midfield partnership of Rodri and Silva. We know Silva's going to be in there somewhere. And then our what's become our typical back line. All right, fair enough. So let's assume that this is the squad that goes out there. We've seen what this United team are and what they're not. So what is your score prediction? If you're in the chat, tell me your score prediction. What is the score for the derby on Saturday, I believe? Put your comments in the chat. Put your score predictions in the chat. So let's start with you, Darsh. What are you thinking for the score?
2-1 City.
2-1. Okay. I got Keeley with a 3-1. Spartacus, what you got? He's muted. He must have been. Louis, what do you got?
What's your score prediction? Because I think I'm going pretty bold, but I don't want to say it last.
All right. So I think Timothy. Timothy. I have a brother named Timothy. It's just spelled completely different, so it's throwing me off. My apologies. But Timothy says 4-0 City. Magnus says 3-0 City. Cisco said a 3-1 to City with Cherki with 2 goals and assists to GA. Kathy said 6-1. Memories from the corner of my mind, 1-6. So that would be big. I would love that. I'm gonna go. I think the 3-1, but I'll go 2-1. I think 3-1 if we're in good goal scoring form. I don't know that we will be, even though we got 2 tonight. So I'm gonna go 2-1. 2-1 us, of course. Snoopy says 4-1. Yeah, I think for me it's a 2-1, maybe a 3-1 City win. So let's just, again, at the end of the day, I would love that we run it up, and maybe with the interim keeper or interim manager and all that kind of stuff, maybe the the kind of the situation forms that we can kind of run up some points on them. But it is a derby, and I never expect it to be anything but close. So, is he back? Spartacus, what's your score prediction?
Bloody hell. 2-1.
2-1. Yeah, that's kind of where I was at 2-1, 3-1.
2-1. I'm going 4-1.
4-1. So yeah, you're with Snoopy and well, no, Timothy said 4-0, but yeah, Snoopy said 4-1. Yeah, Timothy said he would settle for the 6-3. You remember that from a couple years ago? It was a blowout. They got a couple goals late to make it 6-3, but
if there was another couple of minutes, I think Martial would have got a hat trick as well. You know
who?
Martial.
That 6-3 because he got 2 that game. If there was another 2 minutes on that, he would have got another goal in that.
Gotcha.
Like, because it was 2 minutes. Because it was 2 minutes added on. But yeah, I think it was only 6-2, 6-3.
Yeah. So 6-3. So yeah, I mean, of course, I assume everybody believes that we're going to go and we're going to get the win. But you know, if there's somebody out there that doesn't think we're going to get the win, feel free to let me know that too. All opinions are appreciated, even if they're not celebrated. But
I'm a real scratch for 12-30 games. But
that's another reason why I think the scoring is going to be down, because it is the early morning game, and those are usually low scoring affairs.
Yeah.
So we will see. At the end of the day, we get a win. We get the full 3 points. I should take a look to see. Does anyone know who does Arsenal play?
Forest. Forest the same day. They're playing Forest away.
They're playing Forest. Okay. Villa has Everton.
Set pieces.
Liverpool has Burnley. Chelsea and Brentford. That's the closest thing to a pretty, you know, outside of us. United is in 7th. We're in 2nd. Chelsea's in 8th. Brentford in 5th. So that's a pretty close, evenly matched match. But everything else feels like it should be pretty straightforward. So we will see. But yeah, a Arsenal dropping points would be great, and it's at Forest, so Arsenal's away to Forest, so it's anything is possible. I don't know if it's likely, but it's possible.
I think that the thing with Forest is that the main weaknesses are set pieces,
which doesn't work well when you're playing up against Arsenal, who thrive on set pieces.
So I think that's just unfortunate for us. We move it again. Arsenal gonna go. I'm not gonna go unbeaten the whole season, and we're not gonna go unbeaten the whole season. So we just gotta hope that we lose to.
Yeah, I mean we play them at home coming up. So
12 games unbeaten.
Yeah,
this is what I'm saying. I think maybe if we're able to bring them back to the Etihad with a 6-point gap, I'm confident that it will become a 3-point gap. And then it's just win one more game than they do, and we win the league because we have better goal difference. So,
Sparkus, I need Murillo, man. You know what I mean? Put the juju, put the circle around, the candles.
Let's go.
Murillo.
The guy is due a banger, by the way. He's due a banger because the guy loves the ball.
Yeah, man, like Ruben Diaz.
Do we have a conversation? Tarek, do you have a conversation about the centre back situation?
Well, yeah, that's the next thing that's on my list to talk about. I'm gonna skip the Champions League. I do have it on here, of course. We play United on the weekend at Old Trafford. But then on next Tuesday, so a week from today, we're going to be playing Bodo Glimt in the Champions League. We go to Bodo Glimt. It is
all the fans go in there. I pray for you. Minus 15, 20 degrees.
Yeah. And then it's the quote unquote the plastic pitch. So it's not going to be ideal, but I don't think at this point we're going to ignore it. We're not going to spend any more time thinking about the Bodo Glimt. Now, maybe that's a mistake, and I'll be here next week crying about something going wrong. So hopefully not. But we'll skip Bodo Glimt. Obviously, the next thing I had on my list, and the last thing for the night really is to just talk about transfers. Of course, the center back situation at City is the kind of in the forefront of everybody's mind. It's the focal point of conversation. Targeting Gahey from Crystal Palace, and whether or not he wants to come, and if he does, can we get a deal done that gets him across the line? So that's a center back conversation. Of course, there's other center backs out there. Somebody mentioned Nicholas Schlotterbeck. I believe he plays for Dortmund in Bundesliga. So there are some others. There's another name that I saw. Darsh was just talking about Murillo. I don't know that he was talking about him coming as a City player per se, but that is a name that I've seen linked at previous conversations. I see this tweet. I don't know. Again, when you see tweets, you don't really know how reliable these people are. Somebody could have just completely made this up out of the air. But Manchester City have made an inquiry for 27-year-old Colombian center back Jean Lucumi from Bologna. The Premier League leaders are exploring defensive reinforcements in this January window, with Lucumi high on their short list thanks to his consistent performances in Serie A. So is anyone a Serie A fan paying attention to Serie A, and do you know anything about this guy? Or is that just another random name thrown in there?
I've got no idea about
who
Lucumi is.
I think the big name obviously is Gahey.
Yeah.
Do we get him? Do we get it across the line? Do you want him?
Well, it depends, because I'll be honest with you. I thought yesterday, UK time, that we would get news about Gahey, proper big news, whether we're in or out. So far, nothing's been definite about Gahey. You know what it feels like, It feels like City he knows where he has different options: Bayern Munich, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Inter Milan, Atleti, Real Madrid, all clubs here, especially for the summer as a free agent. He wants a signing on bonus, so you all know this. But the noise hasn't gone away yet, because if the noise was going to go away, you'd see more links to, like you said before, the likes of Lucumi, Charlie Cresswell, and Nico Schlotterbeck. But so far, and something like Konza as well, because this is the thing. We need homegrown centre backs. So another homegrown players. So something's got to happen.
So you mentioned Charlie Cresswell playing at Toulouse. Yeah, I'll say right-footed player, 6 foot tall, 23 years old. He's an English English. He's English. I don't know if he probably plays for like the U21s or something. I don't know, but he's English. He does have a contract out through 2028, so it's not like he has to go anywhere anytime soon. Big up to Luke, man. Appreciate you. Thanks for stopping by. As always, more than welcome to hit that button, man, if you want on. Big up Jordan Andre McDonald, excuse me. Thanks for your subscription, brother. Appreciate it. Always appreciate the support. All right. So I've seen this name before. I don't know anything about him, but for shot attempts, 98% above, he's better than 98% of the center backs, but that's not something you expect from center backs. Goals, 99%. But again, you don't expect that unless he's getting like headers on corners or something like that, set pieces. But aerial duels this you do expect, and he's better than 98% of the other center backs that he's being compared to. That number speaks to me.
What's his passing stats?
Let me see if I can figure this out. I may go over to FB Ref to see if there's a better way to look at this. But
I remember Toulouse as well, because they were originally the club that the CFG were going to buy, but there was some articles around when it was about to happen that they massively protested about it, and the CFC backed out, and then we brought Trois instead.
Yeah.
If I can remember right.
So when you talk about passing, you asked about passing, 85.8. So basically 86% successful pass percentage. Only 40% on long balls. Again, those numbers are low compared to others. But his accurate number of long balls is high, but just the percentage is low. Again, seven chances created. He's been dispossessed 4 times, which as a defender, you're going to be close to the goal. So that's not good. But numbers, I got to see it in the match or in the game to see like what the game state was when that happened. But 58.3% duel percentage won, 62.7% aerial duels won. He's got high on interceptions and blocks and fouls committed, but recoveries. He has been dribbled past 9 times. So again, like with any young defender, it's probably a mixed bag.
The only problem is as well is you don't because stats can be all good. It's just like I haven't seen him play. You haven't seen him play. Spartacus and Darth haven't seen him play, and I don't think the chat like most of the chat has as well. So you don't know, whether you can if you can see with yourself whether it's. If they've been long raking balls, a bit like Vardio can do from time to time, that sort of thing, it's kind of tricky to understand. So I don't want the goal threat, that's having numbers like that.
Can you compare the numbers with the guy that I just sent in the chat? Actually, I wrote his name wrong.
Alexandro.
Yes, like this.
Yeah, let me go over
that.
A place for Lille.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can pull that up on FBref real quick.
I did research him before. He's played in the Champions League, I believe. He played in the Europa League.
Yeah.
So he's got European experience a bit more than Cresswell.
The only way that works would be if Ortega leaves, because we're out of quota.
Yeah,
but I generally can see them just deregistering Ortega as well if he doesn't leave.
I'll be honest with you, I've had enough of that guy.
Oh, same.
One moment you're in, one moment you're out. You know what I mean?
He hasn't been since Bettinelli has been in the squad. He's been chilling on $100,000 a week. No problem, mate.
It's not just that, it's just I'm gonna say one thing we do the other week, it's just it just gets so tiring and when it becomes hypocritical. Obviously, listen, it is what it is, it's up to Ortega, but the club, if you need to do what you need to do to get up a defender in, do it.
He's also just making squad building a lot harder than it needs to be.
Yeah.
At least we if he still decides to stay until the summer, at least we know now he'll leave in the summer. Because if you have that chance to stay on the money that you have he has, then he has every right to stay at the club, even if we don't like it or not, unfortunately.
Oh yeah.
He has every
Same as Calvin Phillips. He's on $150 a week. So if you're I'm calm here and whatever, then chill.
I don't think that this is the thing with if you compare him to Alexander right now, he has been injured, so you have to go back 1 season. He just came back from an injury.
So this is career versus career. So Alexandro Ribeiro, which is a Brazilian defender from Lille, versus Charlie Cresswell, a English defender from
Toulouse.
to lose. Excuse me. So playing time is neither here nor there. It's pretty even. It's if you look at what they've done, that's really close as far as their careers are concerned. So the numbers should be relatively close. Of course, Cresswell we saw got more goals. Somehow he is he seems to be scoring goals. I don't know how that happens, but forgetting this part, because that's not really, in my opinion, what's important for a defender. We think about passing. Pass completion percentage is quite a bit higher for Alexandro Ribeiro, 90.4 versus 79. So at least a full 10% higher. So that's one extra pass out of 10 that's going to be completed for him.
And also his passing range is a lot better as well. You can see on the long passes and in every
everyone
aspect of passing is just a lot better.
46. Jesus.
The only thing that I will say is
expected.
Charlie Cresswell is English. Now we brought in Max Elaine, so he's English, so that helps with the English quota. But how much? And again, this isn't for us. This is for the Viana and those folks. How much do you value that English quota and him being English and all that kind of stuff? How much is important to you? Because we do need it, but at the same hand, we also know that we have players that we could identify, like this Alexandra Ribeiro, who maybe aren't English, but could potentially be good value for money.
I guess at the end of the day, it's just, do they see? Because I think what they're going to really be thinking is, do we think that there is a known homegrown player in another position that really is a must get? Because if there isn't a guy, then they're probably not going to move for Alexander or a known homegrown player. But if they don't see a player out there who's like, we need to get this guy in, he's not homegrown, then I don't see why you not move in for a non-homegrown player.
Looking at the tackles, again, this is pretty even, which is, again, what you would expect based on the fact that they played about the same number of matches. So on the defensive side, they seem to be about the same. Cresswell's going to get more goals. Ribeiro's a better on ball, or he's a better passer, let's say, distributor from the back. So it's all relatively close. Blocks is quite a bit. He's a much better blocks and that thing here. Go ahead. You were going to say something.
The thing with defensive stats is that we cannot fall into the more equals better fallacy, because the fact of the matter is that Lille is in general better team than Toulouse. So they're going to have more of the possession. So Alexi Better is going to have less opportunities to put in a tackle, less opportunities to put in a block or things like that, challenges. So we can't really just defending quality. You just have to really do the eye test. You can't really just take a look at the stats and just have the thing. What you can see on the stats is the passing and the own ball quality. For example, you go into the possession category below, you're going to see that there is a big difference between the two of them. Big one. He just does more at every area pretty much, except attacking third, which we don't really need to care about too much.
You assume that's like penalties, or not penalties, but corners, set pieces, that kind of thing, because otherwise I don't understand how you would get that many touches in those areas as a defender. So, but no, I think to your point, right? I think to your point, it is fair to say that you can't just look at numbers, and you do need to have a little bit of an eye test. And I've not seen either one of these players play, so I don't have anything to add from that standpoint. But I do know we are currently in a position where we have two, and if you include Ake, 3 fit center backs. And we've got to manage until Ruben Diaz comes back. So either we go get a Mark Gahey or a Charlie Cresswell or somebody like that, or we say we think we're good enough, let's just play through it.
I think the big thing
that's so risky.
Optimistic.
It's so risky going with Ake, Elaine, Kustanov, and Diaz, because Ake, like he'll do everything to like put himself like be in the team and whatnot, but the moment he gets a hamstring injury and like it says like he's two months or so out, we're back to square one again.
Which is why I think we have to go get Gahey if he's really considering coming. So
I think he is.
So let me put you all on the spot. I want to know, do you think he comes? Yes or no? Does he come? Yes or no? I'm going to say yes. I think he comes. I think we get it over the line because it means too much to us. Louis, does he come?
Not because of him, but because of the money involved with Palace. Because I think we've done everything to sort out it with Gahey. If his agent came on the weekend, that's not a coincidence. I think they've sorted everything out, and it's like, yeah, we'll give you all the money that you want. We just need to try and get something with Palace, like do some trick, like do something with them to do a favor for you.
So Magnus and Snoopy have both said no. I've said yes. It sounds like you're saying no, not because you don't think he wants to come, but because we just can't get it figured all out.
I think we actually get the like opposite to what Fabrizio was saying. I think it's going to be the opposite. We get the deal with Gahey, but we don't get the deal with Palace because they'll stick with the money that they want, like saying that 35 mil or whatever it is.
Yep. Timothy says no. Palace says yes, but Gahey says no, and Gahey holds all the cards. Fair. Darsh, what are you thinking?
Okay. I want it to happen. I really want this transfer to happen. But when you got all those clubs involved, I don't blame him for thinking about want to take time about a transfer. Yeah, about whether you want to move to City or do you want to wait for some of your signing on bonus. And if we don't give him that signing on bonus, then I don't think he'll join. I'm gonna say no. I just think that we would know by now he wants to join us. And
no, I think he's already said he wants, like he's convinced of the project. He's convinced with what's going on here, and like he'll compete. Like once Cavadio comes back, I think that's the big thing. They'll say you will compete with Diaz to be the second, like be with Josko for being the centre back parent. It's just Palace will not. Like Palace will stick with their guns and say 35 mil, 40 mil, whatever they're saying, and City will go, no. We'll do it for Gahey, we won't do it for you.
I see what you're saying, but if a player needs time to think about it, you can just tell that he's thinking about other clubs as well. So if we look at the amount of clubs that are interested, 7, 8, we're like on 1/8 chance compared to all the other clubs. That's not good odds to have. And this is the thing with the money involved. And this is the thing. I don't care about the money. Yeah, for me, pay the money. But on Gray's side and Palace's side, I don't care. But the club, I'm thinking, what the club would think. What's the point of paying all of that now? I'm looking at it from the club standpoint, not my standpoint, by the way. It's one of those things where I'm just looking at it and thinking, if it's taking too long, move on. Because let's be real, I don't know wait for another week. I'd rather, if it ain't coming and we can't get any other homegrown defender, I would deregister Stefan Ortega and go get another homegrown defender because we cannot go without this January. After when it's done, we should have one in because I'm not confident going with Kustanov, Elaine, Ake, and Diaz. That's too risky for me. You're putting so much strain. Ruben Diaz has been strained for the past 3 years. And Ake has been strained. Elaine and Kustanov, I don't think it's fair on them. That's how I see it. I just don't think it's fair.
Personally, I think that we have I think the club is going to say no at the end of the day. Not because they don't want Gahey and not because Gahey don't want us, but because I think it's going to take way too long for something that's not going to be a certainty. So I think they're going to get to like the 17th, the 18th of January, and they're going to turn to Gay and be like, "Are you coming? Yes or no? If you say no, we're moving on."
And listen, I want, and as everyone's comments here, I want great to happen. And yes, Tiki's gone as Hugo Viana. So maybe there's something in the bag, Hugo, that's very different. But it's good. Maybe I'm being pessimistic, but it's just something I'm thinking, saying to myself. I really want to sit. I don't know.
Snoopy, I said after the last time we talked about transfers last week, I said I was going to go get the Show Me the Money clip and turn it into a clip that I could show on here. And I did go out there, but I was sick and I never actually clipped it. I just left it alone. So no, I don't have it. I wish I did. I would absolutely play it right now. I debated going out and just pulling it up on YouTube and playing it, but I don't want to have ads and stuff playing. So I won't do that tonight, but I will get that clip because I think it fits so well. Whether it's players that might be saying it because they want that sign-on bonus and the transfer fee for their club or whatever, or when other teams and other fan bases have stuff to say, they talk about oil money and all this other stuff. I just want to be like, just show me the money. So yes, I'm going to clip this. It's just a matter of time.
I think that if it was cheeky, I think we would be a lot more likely to get this deal done because I think we would be giving him more time to make his mind up. With Viana, I genuinely believe he's going to go to like the 17th and turn to Gay like, is it a yes or no? And if he says no, we're just going to move on. Not give him like any more time.
Isn't that?
Well,
I was through even stupid comment. Surely though, the fact, I think everyone's forgetting this, the fact that Gayhee's agent went to Manchester, surely that's the sign to show that they're wanting the deal. Because if you wanted to say no, you could everyone has a phone, so you can easily text them and be like, sorry, we're not joining. The fact he's gone up to Manchester, it's like he's
what about Bayern Munich?
Personally, I don't think that. I think that him coming to City doesn't necessarily mean that he wants the move. It means that he is not against the move. It means that he's open to come to City.
Yes.
But he's
You
not
make
sure
a distinction that a lot of our fan base did not give to Savinho. Because you said that just because he had a conversation, just because his agent came here, doesn't mean he's actually wanting to leave or he's actually willing to leave or whatever. But we didn't give that same flexibility, grace, whatever to Savinho. We said is if he was involved in a conversation, then he wants out.
Yeah, there is a very big difference between being open to a move, and I think that's what Gahey is right now. I think he's open for the idea to come to City and wanting the move. I think Gahey is not sure where he wants to go yet. I think he's seen all of the options. He can go, apparently Arsenal back in for him now. God knows how many centre-backs they need, because apparently they're going to have about 8 centre-backs on the books. So God knows. So
but he's not going to come to City and sit on the bench. Then why would he go to Arsenal and sit on the bench?
I mean,
because in my opinion, the Saliba Gabriel partnership is much more established than the Diaz-Gvardiol partnership, unless one of those guys may be looking to leave at some point, and so you're trying to get somebody in the door that can cover in the future.
I think the fact that Gabriel is a little bit older now, he's like 29, I think, closing up to 30. 27? I think he's 27, 28, probably going to 28 now. He's probably going to turn into 28 this season. Makes it so that, okay, this is the last year of Gabriel's career at Arsenal. So maybe when he goes, I'll have a clean shot to be number one, and he's not going to stay here.
He's 28.
He's 28 right now. So he's going to be making 29 this season, or is it next season?
Next season, he's 29 in December.
In December, okay. So realistically, Gabriel has 2, maybe at max 3 more seasons at Arsenal. And again,
Ruben Diaz is 28. Ruben Diaz is 28. He'll be 29. He'll be 29 in May.
He signed he signed a contract extension and he's there
Till
until
2029.
29. Gabriel.
Yeah,
that's Gabriel.
Oh, so
Same-
they're both there till 2029 then, because Diaz's contract ends in June 2029 as well. So contract situation is about the same. They're about the same age. Who do you think you're more likely to beat out, Diaz or
realistically,
Gabriel?
I can see Arteta moving into a back five.
Ooh,
That's how pragmatic he is.
Ooh.
And I don't mean like a back five of 2 wing backs and 3 centre backs. I mean 5 centre backs.
Oh my God,
You
that
have
would be
Timber.
so ridiculous.
I can genuinely see it. Like he goes Timber and
Timber right
Calafiori
wing back and
wide.
Encapsulate. Hello, boom, the ball. Listen, I need this ball.
And then he has a double pivot of Rice, Zubimendi ahead of them with Odegaard, Gyökeres, and Havertz as strikers. I can genuinely see that.
When Saka
They would be so.
When Saka signed the new contract.
Yeah, they would get so much grief if they played like that. Oh my God.
Maybe Saka second striker.
Oh my word.
They'd have to do that music before the game. The like the one with Harambal.
Oh God.
Mate.
Would you put this past Arteta though? Because I really would not.
Mate. Listen,
Yeah.
if that happens, long day, listen. Like Lewis said, get the Harambal music out at the end. Like, forget the
All right. We've been on here for 2 hours and 28 minutes, 29 minutes now. So almost 2.5 hours. I really appreciate everybody that's been here. Some of you have been here from the very beginning. Others have come on and maybe come on and off throughout the stream. But I appreciate you being with me, whether you were with me for 10 minutes. I don't even know how many. What is that? 140, 150 minutes. Wow, that's crazy. But I appreciate you guys showing me love. I as I always do, since we've been on this, since my Hurricanes have been on this playoff push, I've been coming on here telling you, hey, my team plays this. I need you guys to support. And for whatever reason, we've gotten across the line. The Canes keep winning. There's one more game. There's one more game that we're going to play. It is on Monday, the 19th. It is Monday evening. It's going to be really late for those of you in the UK, so I don't expect you to actually watch it. But if you're thinking and praying and good wishes and all the things, send them up for the Canes because we need one more win. One more win gets us a national title, and it will be such a good thing for my guy.
The
Miami Hurricanes. Big ups to Miami Hurricanes. For my guy Snoopy, who is still in the chat.
It's the Canes, baby.
One more time.
It's the Canes, baby.
Yes, sir. It's the Canes, baby. So, we will be playing on Monday. I really do hope that we can get a win in the derby on Saturday. We can get a Canes win on Monday. We can get a city win against Bodo Glimt on Tuesday. It will make for a amazing run. And a perfect stretch as a Canes and a City fan. So big ups to everybody that has been here. Again, before we get off, if you haven't already done so, do me a favor. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. Both of those things go a long way to helping me build the channel. Again, we've been doing this. This is week 13. So 13 straight weeks of doing this. And some of you have become regulars. I appreciate it. Some of you the first time. I hope you'll come back. But if you'll do me that favor, it will help push the algorithm, boost the algorithm, all the things that they tell you as a content creator. I need your help. So big ups to each one of you. And again, great night to be a City fan. We went to Newcastle. We got the 2-0 victory. And we positioned ourselves well to be able to finish it out, finish the tie out at home. I believe it's in February sometime whenever we play again. So big ups to everybody. Again, appreciate each and every one of you. I know it's super late in the UK, so good evening, good night, and appreciate each one of you guys. Talk to you later.